good. Could you tell us about Jonathan Masquad, how he performed here in the rookie minicamp?
He performed like we thought he was. You know, he's a guy that has some pass rush traits and some pass rush ability, and a lot of time those guys look really, really good with no pads on, flying around, and which they're supposed to. I mean, seriously, they spoke if you're a pass rusher, then you're supposed to look good when you got no pads on, and he looks real good with no pads on. So, but he's a quick, explosive guy, showed the ability to learn in our system, so just be a matter of him picking up the system when he gets here, blending in, and then when we put the pads on, when the real stuff starts, see how he does.
How about the big tackle, Travian Robertson?
Same thing. He's a big guy that can move, big, strong guy. He's the biggest guy we've had, you know, in camp since we've been here. But he's a big guy that can move, big, strong guy at the point of attack, very, very strong, maybe the strongest guy on the team. But he's a big, strong, tough guy. He looks good in there.
What are your expectations for Ray Edwards in 2012?
Well, you know, Ray was a little bit hurt last year. He came in after knee surgery. He came into a new system. So, but I thought that last year he was still a pretty productive player on the run. I thought he was probably one of our best guys effort-wise, plays hard all the time. This year, second year in the same system, well, we got mostly the same system, but the same year coming back, he should be fine this year. I expect him to do fine this year and get better.
Lawrence Sidbury didn't get a lot of snaps last year, but when he was out there on the field, he seemed very productive. Can you talk about his progression and what you expect out of him this coming year?
Yeah, he's a guy that, same thing, he's a guy, we got those young, we got a good group of young defensive ends, and him and Matthews, those guys, they have to come back this year, get better, and improve, and show that they can be productive day in and day out, and help us out a little bit. But we expect that him and Matthews both to come in and compete very well for jobs.
How does Coach Nolan's stated philosophy that, hey, he'd rather have, 5 or 6 guys with, sacks as opposed to 2 big mega sack guys? How does that fit for you? How does that square with defensive line teachers?
Well, if we have a pressure type defense, so if you're pressuring, you're sending other people, sending some linebackers, some defensive backs and stuff like that. So kind of like the Jets, the sacks are going to be spread around. If you're only rushing 4 guys, then your sacks are going to be mostly with your defensive line. So that's basically what he's talking about. In our system, we have other guys rushing, coming in there like that. The whole key is to put pressure on the quarterback. This is a quarterback-driven league. The whole key is to put pressure on the quarterback and make him have to make quick decisions, and hopefully he'll make some wrong decisions, and we'll get some interceptions, we'll get some sacks, and everybody will be productive.
Okay, and getting back to Jonathan, that had to be Abraham talking about a big deal for you guys. You've been with him since the beginning. How do you see him, continuing to play? And
I tell you, he's an amazing guy. At 34, we watching tape, and at 34 years old, he can still do some things that the friggin' young guys can't do. So, and we don't expect him to slow down at all. He's doing his rehab. He does his rehab program every offseason, his strengthening program. He should come back. He's a phenomenon, and he's a rare pass rushing breed, and he can still do that very well.
As he gets older, do you have to spell him a little bit, or y'all just play that by ear?
Yeah, no, we have the rotation on defensive line. He doesn't play. He played in a 60 snap game. He's probably playing about 40, 45 snaps. So which is good for him. Keeps him fresh and keeps him going. Now, if the team is passing more, then he's going to get more snaps. But he can play the run, he can play the pass. But we just try to, same thing with Babinall, all of them. We try to rotate those guys. Every team in the league now practically has 7 or 8 defensive linemen that they play with, and you try to roll those guys and keep them fresh, because we're the only position besides the offensive line on the field that's making contact and wrestling with somebody every single snap. So where's your ass out?
Yeah. Hey, what about Croy? We're hearing, if you read between the lines, he's going to be dropping in the coverage, maybe playing some third down linebacker or whatever. If you read
which lines you reading in between?
The statements are, the stated objectives of being multiple on third down.
Well, he's a guy that can do some. He can do some things. Oh yeah, he can do some. He can do some things. I don't know how much we're going to be doing that with him, but he can do some things. In some different categories that we haven't done in the past in our defense, and he'll be a guy that we think can do some of those things. But I don't know how much of it we're going to be doing.
Okay.